Okay. Um, Let me check. Okay. Let's see if the YouTube one is working. All right. So for those that are already here, we're gonna start our live lesson at 5 o'clock exactly. So if you can hear me, you can type yes in the comment section. All right. Just to let me know that you guys can hear me. Okay. And I hope for those that are here, I hope you guys did your homework. For those that actually did your homework, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. For those that have not done your homework for the last lesson yet, it's okay. You can still finish it whenever you guys are free so that you guys can submit it after you're done. All right. So now, can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, maybe you type a yes in the comment section. All right. 2 more minutes before we start. Okay. So for those, oh, yes. Hi, Cindy. I assume you can hear me, right? Okay. So 2 more minutes before we start. So if you need your, I don't know, your pencil case, okay, if you still don't have your worksheet, if you need a water bottle, go and get them so that we can start on time. All right. Okay, let me check the YouTube link, see whether it's working. Hmm. Yes, okay. I do see a few replies on YouTube. Very good. Yes, very good. And you guys can hear me. That's perfect. Okay. So one last minute. So once the time reach 5 p.m., I'm going to start. All right. So once again, for those that just joined, if you did your homework, very proud of you. If you have not yet done your homework, right, you guys can still complete it and submit it, all right, so that you guys can have a revision on what we learned last week. Okay, just a few more seconds. Okay, let's wait until 5 together, right? So, or maybe you guys can tell me how's the homework last week? Is it too easy, too difficult? Do you guys have any difficulties doing it, or it's no problem? It's too easy for you guys. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. Let's get started. So today, what are we gonna learn? Okay, we're gonna learn the world of 3D shapes, right? So you guys must be thinking, what are 3D shapes? Okay, so you guys might not know what are 3D shapes. I'm pretty sure you guys know what is a 3D movie. Okay, or more like sometimes you look at the things around you, right? Your pencil case, your water bottles. Okay, what shape are they? So today we're going to learn what's the name of all the shapes of like the things around you. All right, so let's get started. This is our learning objective for today. Learn to identify, name and count 3D shapes, and we learn to identify faces, corners, vertices, and edges. All right, let's proceed. So just a quick self-introduction because I actually introduced myself last week. But for those that did not come last week, my name is Teacher Chun Jie, and I'm a teacher from Think Academy. So I graduated from NUS, and I have 4 years of teaching experience. All right. And for our live sessions, there are 3 weeks. Okay, one lesson every week. Okay, and it's free to join through WhatsApp or YouTube, and playback is provided. So every time when you submit your homework, you can get 1 star. And if you submit all 3 homeworks, okay, you guys can get a certificate. Okay, so just to encourage you guys to do the homework. All right. So now let's give a round of applause for those that actually completed their homework last week on time. All right. So if you see your name here, you can give yourself a thumbs up. Yes, and I hope to see all of you guys' name next week. Okay. So I hope you guys can all finish your homework next week. All right. Very good. Now let's proceed to okay. And this is what we learned. We are going to learn, right? For last week, we learned money problems. For lesson 3, we're going to learn fractions. Okay, so next week is our last lesson. Okay, so I hope you guys are excited. So let's start the lesson with a video. I believe you guys all love to watch videos, right? So let's start the lesson with videos, okay? Okay, I hope the video is done playing because it's a little bit delayed on your end, right? So let's take a look at what shapes you guys see just now. Okay, so if you guys know the name of the shape, feel free to type it out on the comment section. Okay, so let's take a look at the first shape over here. Okay, what is the name of this shape? So if you know, type it out on the comment section. All right, so this shape, the name of this shape, we call this a okay, so let me see if I see any answers on the screen. Okay. Okay, the name of this shape is actually called the cylinder. Yes, I did some. Oh, okay, I hope you guys can see me. All right. The name of this shape is actually called the cylinder, right? It's called the cylinder. So what's so special about the cylinder? You realize that the top and the bottom of a cylinder is actually made up of 2 circles. All right. 2 circles. Okay. And okay, so we have one human over here. Okay. And we know the top, okay, is actually a flat top, right? Because top, a circle is a flat surface, correct? And the bottom, because it's another circle, is also another flat surface. Okay, so top flat, bottom flat. Okay, and 2 circles, we have a cylinder over here. All right. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, so once again, if you know the name of these 3D shapes, okay, please type it out on the comment section so that I know you guys know what shape is this. Okay, so if you don't know, it's okay. You just wait for me to go through it with you guys. All right. Yes, very good. Okay, I see. Ipo, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Okay, Ipo says rectangular prism or cuboid. Okay, exactly. Okay, we call this a rectangular prism. Okay, why is it rectangular? You realize, okay, what are we? Yes, rectangular prism or cuboid. You realize that it's actually made up of 2 rectangles, right? So rectangle, rectangle, rectangular. And once again, I have the top, I have a flat top, right? Because a rectangle is also another flat surface, and the bottom is also another flat bottom, all right? So a rectangle is also flat top. A rectangle is also flat top, flat bottom. All right, very good. Okay, moving on to the next one. I believe some of you guys saw it just now already, right? And once again, okay, if you know the answer, type it out on the comment section, all right? So, am I seeing? Okay, let's see if I see any answers. Yes, okay, I see a few answers on the screen, okay? So this is a cube, okay? So what's the difference between a cube and a cuboid, right? So for cuboid, if you have like, for example, I have like the tissue over here, okay? And if I make it flat, it's a cuboid, right? But can I say this is a cube? No, I can't say this is a cube because what's so special about a cube? Okay, a cube is made up of 2 multiple squares. Okay, so for the top, I have a flat top. Okay, the flat top is made up of a square. Okay, what about the bottom? The bottom, I have a flat bottom and it's also made up of another square, right? So if you guys play the Rubik's Cube, okay, I'm not sure if you guys play the Rubik's Cube. If you guys play the Rubik's Cube, okay, it is exactly how a cube looks like. All right. Very good. Okay, moving on to the next shape. Okay, this one might be slightly challenging for you guys. So if you guys know the answer, once again, type it out on the in the comment section, right? I think I'm expecting less answer from this one. Okay. Yes, very good. Okay, so I see is Ibo again, so he knows exactly what we are talking about, right? Let me see. What about YouTube channel? All right, let's go through the answer. Okay, so what do we call this? We call this a triangular prism. Okay, why is this a triangular prism? Let's see. This is because the top and bottom, what shape do we have? We have triangle and another triangle at the bottom, right? So two triangles, triangle, triangle, therefore we have triangular prism. All right, so once again, the top is a flat top, right? Because triangle is a flat shape, right? And the bottom is another flat bottom. All right, come. So now let's move on. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, so there are many three-dimensional figures below, right? So what does three-dimensional means? Okay, remember at the beginning of the lesson, we say today we're going to learn 3D shapes, right? So have you guys ever wondered what does 3D actually means? Okay, so 3D actually means three-dimensional. Okay, so if next time you guys go and watch a 3D movies, okay, you guys can tell a friend, oh, today I watch a three-dimensional movie. All right, so there are many three-dimensional figures below. Okay, let's revise. Do you still remember the name? Okay, so over here we have a cylinder, right? Okay, over here, okay, we have a rectangular prism, or we call it a cuboid. Over here we have a cube, and over here we have a triangular prism, right? So all together, okay, these three shapes, okay, only these three shapes, okay, not including the cylinder. Okay, this is the family what? It's the prism family. So let's write out together on your handout. All right, so let's write out. Okay, let me change the brush. Let's write it out. Okay, pre. Yeah. All right. Yes, very good. Okay, so I give you guys some time, maybe like 10 seconds, because it's not very difficult, right? So I give you guys maybe like 10 seconds to finish writing. Once you guys are done, we'll get ready. We'll be ready to move on to the next question. All right. So I think that's about 10 seconds. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Okay, so now let's take a look at another videos. Okay, so today's lesson is very fun. Okay, we'll be watching videos of our videos. All right. Okay, now let's take a look. Okay. I hope everyone finished watching the video. Yes. All right. So let's see if you guys understand what did they just say. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the next part. Okay. So anyone still remember or anyone know? Okay, what shape is this? Okay. So once again, if you know, what do you do? It's the same thing, right? Type it out in the comment section so that I know that, oh, okay, you guys know what's the name of the shape. Okay, yes. Okay, so I have a very attentive student over here. Okay, his name is called Ibo, right? So he knows almost, he knows the answer for almost every question. All right, so yes, okay, and I have a few more. Cindy, Lina, Joyce, okay, a few more on the YouTube channel. Amy Tan, I think. Yeah. So very good. Okay, for those that answer, we call this a cone, right? So if you are not so sure, I believe you guys, or most of you guys like to eat ice cream, right? I like to eat ice cream a lot. So when you eat ice cream, okay, you guys are going to have an ice cream cone, correct? And this is how the exact how your ice cream cone looks like exactly. Okay, so what's so special about an ice cream cone? Okay, we have a circular bottom. Okay, we have a circular bottom, but what about the top? Okay, we have a pointy top, right? You realize over here it's very pointy. Okay, let me circle out for you guys. Okay, it is like, it's quite sharp. Okay, but we have a flat bottom. All right, Okay, so pointy top, flat bottom. We have a cone over here. All right. So okay, let's take a look at the next shape. Okay, so what shape is this? Okay, once again, write it out in the comment section. Yes. Okay, let me wait for a few seconds. Okay, so that we can get more answers. Yes, very good. Okay, so this shape we call this a triangular pyramid. Okay, triangular pyramid. Okay, so why is it called triangular? You guys do remember why do we call a shape triangular? There must be a triangle somewhere, right? So for this shape, the bottom of this shape, okay, is a triangle. And let's take a look at this image over here. All right. So I'm not sure if you guys been to Egypt, but they are well known for their pyramid. Okay, and this is how their pyramid looks like. All right. Okay, very good. Okay, so for the top, once again, what's so special about the top? The top is pointy, right? And the bottom is flat. Okay, it's a triangle. Okay, which is why we call this a triangular pyramid. Okay, very good. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, this one. Hmm, isn't it the same as the previous one? So let's see if you guys can tell me what is the difference between this one and the previous one. All right. Okay. So once again, I'm going to give you guys some time to type in the comment section. Okay. And let me see if I see any correct answer over here. Okay. Okay. I see a few. Yes, I see Ipo says rectangular pyramid. Okay. Yes, a rectangular pyramid. Very good. All right. Okay, I see a few correct answer, right? So yes, very good. Okay, what is the name of this shape? Okay, it's called the rectangular pyramid, right? So once again, okay, why is it called rectangular? So definitely there must be a what shape? There must be a rectangle somewhere, right? If not, we wouldn't call it rectangular. Okay, so remember, if you have a triangle as the base, you call it what? You call it triangular, right? If you have a rectangle as the base, you call it rectangular. All right. So now let's see. Okay. So for a rectangular pyramid, the bottom is also a flat bottom, right? Because it's just a rectangle, but the top is pointy, right? We have a pointy top over here. Okay. So let me circle it. We have a pointy top over here, right? Now, okay, so there are how many three-dimensional figures below? Let's revise. Do you still remember the names? So let's see if you guys still remember the name. All right. So what is this one? Okay, what do we call this? We call this a cone. Very good. Okay, we call this a cone. Okay, what about the next one over here? What do we call this? Okay, so you have to look at the base, right? So if the base is a triangle, okay, what do you call this? You call this a triangular pyramid. All right. Okay. What about the last one? Okay. Is it also another triangular pyramid? No, right? The last one, the base is a rectangle. So we call this a rectangular pyramid. Okay. And together, okay, we have the pyramid family. Okay. The triangular pyramid and the rectangular pyramid. Okay. And we have a special one, right? So this one, I have not gone through with you guys, okay, because I don't think a lot of you guys know what's the name of the base, right? So you realize the base have how many sides? Have one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. So when we have a shape with six sides, right, what do we call it? We call it the hexagonal pyramid. Okay, so this is something I believe is strange to most of you guys. All right. Okay, very good. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Okay, so for all these pyramids, we have pointy tops and flat bottoms. All right, very good. Okay, so now let's take a look at I think the last video. Okay, so maybe let's wait for a while so that I'm sure that everyone finished the video. All right. Okay, very good. Let's proceed. Okay, so remember, what did we see just now? We see like a ball, right? And we know that the ball is called a sphere. Okay, so I believe most of you guys, okay, definitely play some form of ball games. Okay, whether it's a soccer ball, we have the World Cup recently. We have this volleyball. This is basketball. I think this is the pool. And this one, baseball or tennis. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. So they are around all over, right? So if you have a ball at home, okay, it can be a marble, so you realize that there are no corners, there are no sharp edges at all, right? They are around all over, and we call this shape a sphere. All right. Okay, now let's play a game together. I hope it's loading. If it's not loading, then we might have to skip the game, all right? Because sometimes there might be some technical problems over here. So maybe I'll just wait for 1 minute. Okay, after 1 minute, if it's okay, I think it's loading over here. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yes. All right. So let's take a look at the question, right? What shape is the item on the board? Okay. Choose the shape on the right side to hit the target. Okay. So what shape is this? Move this around. Okay. Okay. So you guys think it's the one. Okay. Someone says the first one. So let me choose the first one. Okay. Let me see if it's correct. Yes. Very good. Okay. What about this one? This looks like a square row, right? Okay, so oh, okay. What shape do you guys think this is? Is this a cube? Okay, is it a sphere? Okay, so you guys can write your answer down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I see some people say 3. Okay, so let's see. Very good. Okay, what about this one? This soccer ball, right? I hope you guys it's not staying up late to watch the Cup. Okay, so this shape is it a cylinder? Is it a cone? Is it a cuboid? Okay, I see some answers, right? The answer is a sphere, right? The second one. Very good. What about this one? Okay, I believe someone know how to play a Rubik's Cube over here. Okay, I have some students, they are very good. They can solve it with a minute or 2 minutes. Okay, so is it still a sphere or is it a cuboid? I actually give you guys a clue just now, right? I said this thing is a Rubik's Cube. Okay, so the correct answer should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The fifth option. Okay, okay, and this one looks like 3 heads. Okay, so what should this be? Okay, this one is we have a T-top, right? And face. So we call it a, what do we call this? No, we call this a cone. Perfect. Very good. Okay, last one. This one's an eraser. Okay, so I believe you guys should have an eraser with you right now, right? If not, how are you going to erase this stuff? Okay, so what is this? Okay, very good. It's actually a cuboid. Okay, and okay, let's go a bit faster, right? So we know this is a drum. Okay, I hope some of you guys play the drum, and we know that a drum is actually a cylinder. Okay. Oh, this is so easy, right? This is like I already tell you guys the answer already, isn't it? Okay. So this is an ice cream cone. It's already in the name, right? It's a cone. Okay, and finally a dice. Okay, what do we call a dice? Okay, for dice, what shape do you think it is? Okay, is it a cuboid? Is it a sphere? Is it a cylinder? Is it a cone or is it a cube? Okay, so I see some people say 4. I see some people say 5. I see some people say 3. So what do you guys think? Okay, yes, let's choose the correct answer. Okay, so the correct answer is actually, yes, a cube. Okay, and finally, okay, I hope it's finally, okay, what shape is, or what icon is this? Okay, so for those playing basketball, I think I should not restrain this over here, right? I think it's a basketball, okay? For basketball, what should it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, very good. Yeah. Okay. So it seems like you guys are all very good with identifying the shapes, the 3D shapes already. Okay. So now let's move on to the next part, right? So Explorer 1, okay, it's time for us to actually start working on questions, isn't it? Okay. So count the number of 3D shapes and fill in the table below, right? So when we want to count a certain number of shapes, right, do we just count randomly? Or are there some skills or some tips that we can use, okay, to count the number of shapes? Okay, so let's go through together. So when it comes to counting, actually, what can we do? We can count them one shape by one shape, right? So let's start from all the cuboids first, okay? So how many cuboids do I have? Okay, I know that, okay, let me change to pen. I know that I have one over here. This is 2. Is that all? I have 3 over here and I have 4 over here. Right. So in total, how many cuboids do I have? I have 4 cuboids. All right. Very good. Okay. What about cube? I see some of you guys already giving me the answer, right? How many cubes do I have? Okay. I only have 1 cube over here, right? So what's the answer? I know that for cube, I only have 1. Very good. Okay, what about the next shape? Okay, next shape, what is it? Okay, this shape we call it the cylinder, right? And let's see how many cylinders do I have. Maybe let me change the color, all right? So I have one over here. I have another one here. I have one more here. Is that all? Is that all we have? No, right? You realize that one is actually hiding over here. So I have one more here. So I have 4. Okay, so I know that for cylinder, I also have 4 of them. Okay, and finally, we are left with the last shape. All right, so last shape, what shape do we call this? I hope you guys remember this shape. Okay, just look at all the marbles you have, or all the basketballs you have at home. Okay, this shape is called a sphere. And how many spheres do we have? Okay, I have 1. Is that all? I have another one here, right? So 2. Okay, so how do we get the answer? It's just 2. Okay, so 4 cuboids, 1 cube, 4 cylinders, and 2 spheres. Okay, we can check. Did we actually number out all the 3D shapes? Yes. Okay, very good. Let's move on. Right, so far, what do we learn? Okay, we learned that we have different characteristics of the shapes, right? So, okay, for this 3 over here, okay, not counting the cylinder, okay, we have the rectangular prism, the cube, and the triangular prism, right? Okay, and we know that what family is this? This is the prism family, right? So what's so special about the prisms? Okay, they have flat top, flat bottom. Okay, so flat top, flat bottom, we call it the prism. Okay, what about the rest? Okay, so for our cone, triangular pyramid, and rectangular pyramid, what do we call them? We call them the pyramid family. Okay, and are they the same as prisms? No, right? They also have flat bottom, but what do they have? Okay, that is special. Okay, what do they have that the prisms do not have? Okay, they have pointy tops. Okay, so very good. If all of you guys catch it, we can move on to the next part, right? So now let's take a look. Okay, we can classify our 3D shapes based on their faces. Okay, and we know that some shapes have flat faces, while some shapes have both curved, while some shapes have curved faces, and while others have both, right? So what does that mean? Okay, so here's an example of flat and curved faces. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. What shape is this? Let's write it down together. We know that this is a, okay, let me change to pen. We know that this is a cone, right? All right. Okay, so for cone, I know that I have two different type of faces, right? So the bottom one, okay, is this a flat faces? Is this a flat or is this a curved face? Okay, so maybe you guys can write it down in the comment section. Okay, tell me, is this a flat face or is this a curved face? Okay, I see you guys asking what school are you guys from. Okay, great to see that you guys are making friends, but also answer my question. All right. Okay, so very good. I see that some of you guys say this is a flat face, right? So how do you spell flat? F-L-A-T. All right. Okay, what about this one over here? Okay, this is a curved face. Okay, so C-U-R-V-E-D. All right. Okay, so this is a curved face and this is a flat face. Very good. Okay, so now let's take a look at this question. Okay, look at the solids carefully. Okay, write the letters A, B, C, D, and E of the solids in the correct box below. All right, so you see that we have a few shapes over here, right? A, B, C, D, and E. And we have two different categories, right? So this one says solid that have flat faces only. What about this one? This one that says solids that have flat and curved faces, right? So I want you guys to write it down, okay? If you think A only has flat faces, you write it over here. If you think A have both flat and curved faces, you write it over here, okay? So maybe just 1 quick minute, okay, for you guys to quickly write it down, okay, before we can do together, all right? Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm expecting you guys to write it down on your end. Okay. So let's try the question together. Okay. So what are the solids that only have flat faces? Okay. Maybe you guys can answer my question in the comment section. All right. What are the solids that only have flat faces? Okay. So maybe I know that definitely B is a cuboid, right? And we know that cuboid only have flat faces. So let me give it a tick. Okay, let me change it to brush this. Okay, cuboid only have flat faces. Tick. Okay, what else? For a cube, for a cylinder, do you have any flat faces? We do have, right? But at the same time, we also have a curved face, okay? So if you don't know how the cylinder look like, you can look at your water bottle, okay? Most of you guys should have a cylinder water bottle, okay? Next one, what's the next shape? Okay, the next shape is a cube, right? And definitely cube also only have flat faces. And lastly, okay, we have a triangular prism. And for a triangular prism, it's also flat faces only. Okay. Yes, I see one of you guys get it correct. Yes. So the answer is B, D, and E. Okay, so let's write it down together. All right. We have B, D, and E. Very good. All right. Okay, then what about the remaining? You already know that the remaining definitely have both flat and curved faces, right? Okay, but let's see. Okay, where is the curved face of shape A? Is over here, correct? And we know that definitely the curved face of shape C is over here. All right, so the answer for this one is A and C. All right. Okay, so if you guys understand, let's move on to the next part. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, what about A? Is this a solid that only have flat faces only, or solid that have both flat and curved faces? The answer is definitely the second one, right? Yeah, very good. Okay, what about B? B, I know that I only have flat faces only. Okay, I don't see any curved faces on a cuboid, correct? What about the next one? C, it's very obvious. Just look at your water bottle. Definitely there are some curved faces, okay? So C are solid. C is solids that have flat and curved faces. And what about next one? D, a cube. So look at your Rubik's cube. Okay, do you see any curved faces? No, right? So D, solids that have flat faces only. E, we already did that just now, right? We know that for triangular prism, we only have flat faces. Okay, now let's take a look at this question. Okay, which solid has one curved face and two flat faces? So we want to see. Okay, so now let's take a look. Okay, let's start from this one, D. What shape is this? This shape is a what shape is this? This shape is a cuboid, correct? So for a cuboid, do we have any curved faces? We don't even have any curved faces, right? So it's not correct, all right? So let's strike it off. Oops, sorry. So let's strike it off together, okay? So we know that D is not possible. Okay, what about the next one? What is C? Okay, C is a cube. Okay, so definitely C is also not possible, all right? So the question one curved face and two flat faces. Okay, next, what about B? B, we know that it's a cone, right? For a cone, okay, we have one curved face, but only one flat face, right? But the question wants one curved face and two flat faces. Okay, so is it correct? No. Okay, so once again, it is not B. So now you might be saying, oh, if it's not B, C, and D, then it must be A, right? So let's check if the answer is actually A, all right? So now let's take a look. What shape is A? A is a cylinder. Okay, so if you don't know what's a cylinder, look at your water bottle, all right? So we know that A, we have a curved face over here. We have one flat face over here. Okay, where's the other flat face? Yes, okay, the opposite side, all right? So this is another flat face, and we know that the answer is A for this question. All right, very good. Come, moving on to the next part, okay? So next part, I'm gonna teach you guys what are some terms, okay? Okay, so the first one, we have a vertex, right? So if you guys are not so sure what's a vertex, okay, you guys can just remember vertex is a corner. Okay, so vertex is a corner. What about next one? Edge, right? So an edge is a line segment where two faces meet. Okay, basically, where is it? You see from this one to this one, right? This one we call it the edge. Okay, understand? Okay, moving on to the next part. Okay, face, right? A face is a flat or curved surface, right? So just now we learned that we have flat faces, we have curved faces, okay? So now let's take a look, okay? So now let's see if you guys understand what I say just now, right? So for this pointy corner over here, okay, what do we call this? Very good, we call this a vertex. Oh, sorry. Let me change it to brush. Okay, for this pointy corner over here, we call it a vertex. Okay, what about this one? Okay, you see the line over here. Okay, is this a face? No, this is not a face, right? What is this? This is an edge. And lastly, okay, we are left with this huge, okay, thing over here, right? And we know that this is a face. All right. Okay, so quickly copy down. We're going to move on to the next page, all right? Okay, so now let's answer the following question. Okay, so a cuboid has how many faces? Okay, so we know that, okay, just look at your pencil case maybe, okay, or if you have a phone or you're using an iPad, okay, just see how many faces does your pencil case have? Okay, and the answer should be 6 faces, right? Sorry. Okay, 6 faces. Okay, what about edges? Okay, how many edges? Okay, so if you're gonna count one by one, you will realize that there are actually 12 edges. Okay. And lastly, how many vertices are there? Okay, so some of you guys might be thinking, what's vertices? I thought we learned vertex. Okay, so vertices are the plural form of vertex. Okay, so one vertex, a few vertices. All right, so how many vertex? Okay, or how many vertices do we have? Okay, so we have 8 vertices. Okay, and we know that the shape of each face, okay, because it's a cuboid, the shape of each face is a, what is it? We know that it's a rectangle, right? Okay, so maybe you can just draw a rectangle. Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to our Explorer 3. All right, and we know that, oh, we have a cube, we have a cuboid, and we have a triangular pyramid. Okay, let's see if you guys know how to, how to do it. Okay, so let's start from a cube. Okay, so cube, you can look at your Rubik's Cube or you can look at your dice. Okay, so how many faces will there be? Okay, now I remember to change to pen. How many faces would that be? There would be 6 faces, right? Okay, and how many edges would that be? Okay, I know that there will be 12 edges. And how many vertices? Okay, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom, right? So 8 in total. Okay, I'll have 8 vertices. Okay, and the cuboid, we already did it just now, correct? So we can just write down the answer we have from just now. Okay, so we know that the answer is also 6, 12, and 8. Okay, so now let's move on to something new. We have a triangular pyramid. Okay, so what about the triangular pyramid? Okay, how many faces do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I only have 4 faces now. Okay, and we are left with edges and vertices, right? So let's count how many edges does a triangular pyramid have together. Okay, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have 6 edges. And lastly, okay, how many vertices? Okay, let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 vertices. Okay, so now let's take a look at this question. Okay, which shape below has a triangle face shaped flat face? Okay, triangle shaped flat face. And we already know that, okay, you see A, we know that this is a cuboid, right? And this is a cube. And a cube don't have a triangle shaped flat face. Okay, so this is not correct. Okay, this one, the next one, option B, looks like a cheese, right? And we know that the cheese, they are in triangular form, right? If you guys eat cheese at home, so the answer is just B. Okay, so write it down over here. The answer is just B. Good job. Okay, now let's see if you guys understood what I said just now. Okay, so let's have a PK. Let's have a PK. A cube have how many faces? Okay, quick answer in the comment section. Okay, the answer is 6. Very good. Okay, what about next one? A cube have how many vertices? Okay, the answer should be 8 vertices. Okay, each face of a cube is a, okay, so remember now we're talking about cube, not cuboid anymore. Okay, so each face of a cube is a square. All right, very good. Okay, so the second part of the lesson, what do we learn? Okay, we learned, the first part, okay, let's have a summary. Okay, so first part, we learned the name of the 3D shapes, right? So for prisms, we have flat top and flat bottom, right? So we have all the prism plus the cylinder. Okay, so flat top, flat bottom, prism. Okay, next, what do we learn? For pyramids, we have pointy top, flat bottom. So pointy top, flat bottom, pyramids. And lastly, we have sphere. All right, so for sphere, do we have any pointy or any flat? No, right? We are round all over. Okay, so let's look at this name together, right? We know this is a sphere, this is a cylinder, this is a cone, this is a cube, and this is a cuboid. Very good. Okay, so when it comes to counting shapes, we count in order from top to bottom or left to right, right? And we learn what's a face, what's a vertex, and what's an edge, right? So once again, we count in order from head, body, and legs. All right. Okay, so once again, just a reminder, right? Because I do realize that not everyone that listened to the live lesson submitted their homework. Okay, so please submit your homework through the link which I would send to your parents. Okay, in the WeChat group or WhatsApp group before Wednesday 6 p.m. next week. Okay, so once again, our lesson is every Thursday 5 p.m. to 5:40 p.m. It's free to join through WeChat or YouTube. All right, and you guys can scan the QR code to join our Math Boost community. So we'll be sending more resources in the group chat. Okay, so maybe just some time for you guys to scan the QR code. With that, that's it for today. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.